rain again. The rain had slacked up a little bit. The back motors of the ship are just holding it just enough to keep it from... It bursts into flames. Get it started. It's crashing terrible. Oh my, get out of the way, please. It's bursting into flames, and it's falling on the mooring mast and all the folks between it. This is terrible. This is one of the worst catastrophes in the world. Oh, it's like 400 or 500 feet into the sky, and it's a terrific crash, ladies and gentlemen. The smoke and the flames now, and the flame is crashing to the ground, not quite to the mooring mast. All the humanity and all the passengers screaming around it. I can't talk to people. There's friends around there. I can't talk, ladies and gentlemen. Honest, it's just like I can hardly breathe. I'm going to step inside where I cannot see it. Charlie, that's terrible. Listen, folks, I'm going to have to stop for a minute because I've lost the voice. This is the worst thing I've ever witnessed.
29 Hindenburg is just about to arrive in New Jersey's Lakehurst Naval Air Station with a payload of 36 passengers and 61 crew members. Instead of a majestic, triumphant landing, a small flame suddenly appeared on the lower port or lower left side of the blimp. All of a sudden, what had taken 5 years to build had been destroyed in a matter of minutes. 36 people had died, and the world was scarred.
In order to understand more about the Hindenburg, we must go back in time to when the airship was first conceptualized.
When the Montgolfier brothers invented the hot air balloon in 1783, it was revolutionary. After all, it was the first time humans could ever venture into the sky. Later, the French would develop the first airships, which were essentially a cabin connected to a large streamlined balloon that was usually used for combat. Later, a German engineer named Ferdinand von Zeppelin created his own airship, now known today as the rigid airship, which was modeled after the French contraption.
Unlike the French airships, the airships designed by Zeppelin had a steel hull that reinforced the balloon, which gave the balloon a higher structural integrity, and thus the airships could be larger and be more versatile. This new breed of airships was given the name Zeppelin after their inventor.
In 1931, the Luftschiffbau Zeppelin GmbH, which was the major Zeppelin construction company at the time, started construction on the Hindenburg LZ-129. When it was completed in 1936, it was the largest aircraft ever to fly, and was about the size of the RMS Titanic. Everything was going as planned, all except for a change in the gas used in the balloon. The designer of the Hindenburg designed it to be inflated with helium gas, but because of many factors, such as the United States placing an embargo on Nazi Germany and the incredible expense to extract helium from the air, the Hindenburg was filled with hydrogen instead, which is an extremely flammable gas.
For its initial 62 trips, about 20 or so not carrying passengers, it flew very well. Since it could cross the Atlantic in just 3 days, much faster than any ocean liner, as well as being much safer than any airplane, it was the preferred way of travel. However, the cost for its tickets made it only suitable for the wealthier classes. Despite being able to carry less than 100 people, with the crew being included, it was a revolutionary way of traveling at the time. Its German captains were one of the most experienced in the world, making the Hindenburg known internationally.
The airship left from its airfield in Frankfurt, Germany on the 3rd of May in 1937 to take a 3-day trip across the Atlantic Ocean.
Because the airship was filled with hydrogen, it could burst into flames very easily. It only took a few minutes to destroy what took 5 years to build and end the era of the passenger airship. The Hindenburg, a symbol of Germany's power, was meant to revolutionize air travel, but when the Hindenburg combusted, all the hopes for airships were lost. Instead of being a groundbreaking technology, the Hindenburg ruined the public opinion of passenger airships for decades to come, and the disaster marked a permanent end to the great passenger airship era.
Herb Morrison, an American reporter, documented the flight and tragic demise of the Hindenburg in one of the first nationwide news broadcasts. Morrison actually coined the phrase, "Oh, the humanity," while reporting. Because of the excessive news coverage, the Hindenburg disaster became famous and known about worldwide. On that tragic and fateful night, the Hindenburg went down, and with it went the era of passenger airships.
We can still observe the effects of the Hindenburg's demise today. Airships are now only used for advertisements, and even then they are a rare sight. Passenger blimps have all but disappeared from the sky.
First in the flight. Get it started. Get it started. Crowd, not quite to the mooring mast. Oh, the humanity. I'm going to have to stop for a minute because they have lots of voices. This is the worst thing I've ever witnessed.
We both flew down from Chicago yesterday afternoon aboard one of the giant new 21-passenger flagships of American Airlines. It took us only 3 hours, 55 minutes to fly non-stop from Chicago to New York.